now let's finally start to walk through Week 18 in the NFL. We will predict the winners of every single matchup. That will give us the final playoff standings. Then we will walk through the playoff game by game, seed by seed, all the way through to the Super Bowl and see who we will name as the Super Bowl champions. Now, going back, we did this going into Week 17. Now, our Week 17 predictions, all those did not come true, so we will get a little bit of a shakeup in what we believe the final playoff picture will be. But the last time we did this, our AFC playoff teams were Colts, Bengals, Dolphins, Patriots, Titans, and Chiefs. And in the NFC, we had Cardinals, Bucks, Eagles, Rams, Saints, Cowboys, and Packers. And we walked through the playoffs, and we had the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Based on playoff matchups, based on all that, who was facing who, we walked through it, and we named the Chiefs the Super Bowl champions. So let's see, can the Chiefs still be named the Super Bowl champions based on how their seeding is? The last time we did it, the Chiefs were the number 1 seed in the AFC. So now that they have to maybe play Week 1 in the playoffs, wildcard game number 1, maybe they don't get the most favorable matchups and all that. Maybe the Chiefs cannot win the Super Bowl this year. So let's walk through Week 18 first, and then we'll get into the playoff matchup. So here we go. Game number 1, first game on today, Saturday, folks. Chiefs at the Broncos, and I love the Chiefs here, folks. Love the Chiefs straight up. We swallowed the 10.5, still love that value. We don't think this Broncos team is going to be competitive because they are not competitive. It's going to be Drew Lock out there, not good, and this Chiefs defense really kind of wants to clamp something up heading into the Super Bowl, and unfortunately the casualty is going to be Drew Lock. So love the Chiefs here. And with just the win alone, the Chiefs get that number 1 seed in the AFC, but the Titans, they still play and have something to say about that. All right, then we get the Cowboys at the Eagles. Cowboys kind of rocking with all their starters. Eagles at home. This Eagles team must be really competitive against the Cowboys here. And I really think if the Eagles are playing at full strength, that this is the team that can really win this week. We have big old question marks on the consistency of this Cowboys offense. We know this Cowboys offense should be one of the best offenses in the league just based on the talent that they have on the field. But man, oh man, they have just not really been playing to, I believe, their maximum potential. So Jalen Hurts at home, he must clean it up in the red zone here. Getting these points here, Eagles +4, I'm kind of really liking the Eagles with the points, but I am going to choose that Cowboys win this game. I love what this Eagles team is, but them potentially not playing all their starters, this Cowboys team beating them the last matchup, and I really believe this Cowboys defense may be able to hinder the Eagles overall. So I'm going to choose the Cowboys to win, but I still think the Eagles can keep it close to here, and getting 4 points with the Eagles, I think, is pretty good value. Pretty good value. Game day value, folks. Game day got not an official pick that we had because, once again, we weren't sure if the Eagles were starting everybody or not, but it seems like they are going to be starting some players. How long and all that. If they get down bad, are they going to still start? All that. But Cowboys, we believe, will win this game. It's tough, folks. This is real gosh dang tough. That's why I love the Eagles +4 there. Man, oh man, I think this Eagles team can be competitive, though. And once again, this Cowboys team, I'm going to switch it, folks. I think the Eagles are going to win this game, folks. Big game for the Eagles. They can, upgrade their playoff seeding potentially here with the win. 49ers face the Rams. Potential loss there for the 49ers. So Eagles with the chance to improve their playoff positioning. They can't win the division, so they still can't really get a home game in the playoffs. But overall, I think I love this Philadelphia Eagles team. We count this team as Super Bowl contenders, and just the Cowboys offense, folks. Even last week, it wasn't that incredible. It wasn't like, wow. They kind of regressed a little bit last week. So I'm going with the Eagles here. I'm going with the Eagles. I give respect and credit to this Eagles team. Nick Sirianni deserves to be in the Coach of the Year candidate, and I don't even think he's in the conversation, which is a little disrespectful. I'm taking the Eagles tonight and the 4 points. I love all of it, folks. All right, then we get the Steelers at the Ravens, and I like the Steelers here, folks. Steelers with the win. Big Ben's last ride. They're rocking with Tyler Huntley. Ravens have dropped 5 straight, and this Steelers defense has been incredible last week. That's really why they won last week, was because of the Steelers defense. So we get the Steelers defense stepping up for Big Ben and all that, and I don't think the Ravens will be able to overcome all of that kind of big energy by the Steelers defense. Tyler Huntley gets wrapped up, and Big Ben winks and wonks his way to a win here, potentially getting into the playoffs. They need a little bit of help, but Steelers take care of business and they get the win. Then we get the Bengals at the Browns. Bengals aren't going to be playing anybody. Browns aren't going to be playing anybody either. And I still think this Bengals team is more well coached than the Bengals. So I'm still going to give the Bengals a win here, even though they're not playing anybody. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. Bengals seeding a little bit in the overall field of play, but I'm still going to give them the win there. Then we get the Packers at the Lions. We're going to take the Lions here. Packers have wrapped up the number 1 seed, so it doesn't matter regardless, win or lose, and they're not playing... Obviously, they're not playing Andrew Luck, and we are betting on Dan Campbell this week, so we're taking the Lions to win. Then we get the Titans at the Texans, and we love the Titans here. We love them winning outright, covering the 10.5 points. Fantastic, and now the Titans truly claim that number 1 seed in the AFC because they get the win. Then we get the Colts at the Jags, and I'm going to take the Colts to win, but not because of Carson Wentz. You all know how we feel about the man. Big glaring issues on Carson Wentz, and atrocious performance last week, and this Colts team, it's just not good. The defense is good. The running game is good. Frank Reich, he's trying to not let Carson Wentz, have all those throws. So even Frank Reich knows, hey, Carson Wentz is not going to get it done for us here, but they're going against the Jaguars, their biggest saving grace of the year here. We choose the Colts to win. Then we get the Bears at the Vikings. This one's a tough one. Matt Nagy, Mike Zimmer, both coaching in their last games as a head coach, most likely for their entire career. Kirk Cousins, Andy Dalton, most likely playing their last games of potential starting quarterbacks here in the NFL. Maybe Kirk Cousins gets another nod because, once again, those stats are amazing. The anomaly of the NFL, Kirk Cousins. But Bears at the Vikings. I think I'm going to give it to the Vikings here. Last game at home, they get it done. Vikings get the win. Doesn't matter, though. 2 trash teams. Then we get Washington and the Giants. 2 trash teams. I'm going to give it to Washington there with the win. Doesn't matter. None of them can make the playoffs. Doesn't affect really anything. Then we get the Saints at the Falcons, and Falcons last game. No playoff chances for the Falcons. Saints still a playoff chance, so I believe Sean Payton will get this team right to play, so we'll choose the Saints to win, but they need a little bit of help to try and get in the playoffs. Then we get the Jets at the Bills. I'm going to choose the Bills to win, but we still like the Jets to cover. Nothing changes in the AFC playoff picture with the Bills winning. Then we get the Patriots at the Dolphins, and I'm going to give it to the Patriots here. Unfortunately, the Patriots can't get that number 4 seed in the AFC because, the Bills won outright and won the AFC East, so the Patriots will win a wild card with a win. Then we get the Panthers at the Bucs, and we're going to give this one to the Bucs, of course, folks. Stay away from betting the Panthers on the money line, straight up, anything like that. Value line, spread line, don't bet the Panthers. Y'all know how we feel about them. Then we get the Seahawks at the Cardinals, and Seahawks, nothing to really play for besides making Russell Wilson comfortable, and the Cardinals can still maybe potentially win the division, but they need to win and the Rams to lose. So Cardinals still a little something to play for, so we'll give them a win. Then we get the 49ers at the Rams, and this is such a big game. Rams potentially trying to wrap up that the division lead, the NFC West lead. 49ers just trying to win to secure a playoff spot, but I'm going to give it to the Rams here, with the Rams winning. That knocks the 49ers out of the playoffs, sheesh, and moves the Rams up to that number 2 seed. The Rams can really just face either the Saints or the Eagles based on, whether they win or they lose this game. If they win, they can face the Saints at the 7th seed if the Saints win, which we do predict, and that's the team who you want to face. The Eagles are going to be a tough out for any team in the NFC, so Rams, you still want to win this game to increase your playoff positioning. They could be the number 2 seed, even with the Bucs winning, even with the Cowboys winning, the Rams can be the 2 seed. And then we get the last game of the night, the Chargers at the Raiders. Huge playoff implications on the line here, and we're rocking with the Raiders this week, folks. Raiders at home with with John Madden and all that circulating them. I just think it's going to be a little bit too big for Brandon Staley's first year. Justin Herbert's biggest game of his career, win and into the playoffs. Same thing with Brandon Staley, win and into the playoffs. His biggest game so far, year one as a head coach. And, his decision making this season, the up and down inconsistency of the Chargers, I think it just gets a little bit too much. The Derek Carr magic, now that, John Madden has unfortunately passed, I think it's just they're at home. They're getting disrespected to Vegas. They're +3 at home. Crazy value there. Great value. Take that value. Raiders +3. We'd endorse it. We're taking it this week, and we do believe that this Raiders team can pull off the upset. And I'm going to choose the Raiders winning this week. So, now that we have all that figured out here, this is the final playoff picture based on how we feel Week 18 is going to play out. So here we go. In the AFC, the Titans stay the 1 seed, Chiefs the 2 seed, Bengals the 3 seed, Bills the 4 seed, Patriots the 5th seed, Raiders the 6th seed, getting into the playoffs in the Colts, the 7th seed in the AFC. Then in the NFC, we get the Green Bay Packers, the number 1 seed, Rams, the number 2 seed, Bucks, the 3rd seed, Cowboys, the 4th seed, Cardinals, the 5th seed, Eagles, the 6th seed, and the Saints, the 7th seed in the NFC based off the outcomes of Week 18. All right, now that we've got that, let's head over to this. I want to use this website to walk through the playoffs, but I like the ESPN playoff machine for their interface and kind of the consistency changing playoff picture as we pick the matchup. So let's quickly run through pick the matchups again. So we got the Chiefs winning this week, the Bengals winning this week, the Steelers winning, the Titans winning, the Colts winning, the Patriots winning, the Bills winning, the Raiders winning, the Eagles winning, Packers winning, Vikings winning, Washington winning, Bucks winning, Saints winning, Rams winning, Cardinals winning. Alrighty, so here we go. This is the wild card round, Week 1 in the playoffs, folks. Let's start in the AFC. So the first matchup up, we get Patriots at the Bills. Man, oh man, 3rd time in this season this matchup would be happening. Patriots take game 1. Bills take game 2. Tiebreaker for the wild card. Man, oh man, how crazy is this? Back at it. Bills defense was able to really kind of smother Mac Jones a little bit. Patriots weren't just able to run the ball. Now, Ramondre Stevenson was not playing in that second game against the Bills, so the Patriots running attack wasn't as dominant as their first meeting was. Bills at home should be a great game either way, but I'm going to give it to the Bills here. Just that lackluster Patriots offense a little bit. We know the Patriots defense is fantastic. We all know that. But I think just the overall offense here will be able to get it done for the Bills. Bills able to go into Foxborough and win that kind of second meeting and all that. Bills looking for the revenge at home, playoffs, all that, the atmosphere. I'm going to give it to the Bills winning against the Patriots. Then we get the Raiders at the Bengals, and unfortunate for the Raiders, having to face the Bengals, the explosive offense of the Bengals and that good defense, holding the Chiefs to only 3 points in the second half last week. Absolutely phenomenal. This defense, it's not as good as the offense, but it's real gosh dang good, folks. This offense is, oh my goodness, good. Joe Burrow and these receivers of T. Higgins, he deserves a lot more credit. We all know Jamar Chase is great, but T. Higgins truly flies under the radar. He's so good. He's that big piece down the field that they can throw it up to. You can throw it up to Jamar Chase. He will go up and get the ball as well. So just unfortunate. This Bengals offense at home, nobody wants to see this team. So Bengals get the win over the Raiders, and then we get the Colts at the Chiefs, and unfortunate meeting here for this Colts team. This Chiefs defense will absolutely smother Carson Wentz, and he'd probably throw multiple interceptions in this game. The Chiefs will be able to handle the running game as well, no problem. And this Chiefs offense is fantastic. They'll be able to kind of get past this Colts team. Now, the Colts defense is good. They may give the Chiefs a little bit of a matchup, a little bit of a test in the maybe first half, but we know defenses start to kind of get worse and worse and worse, seeing their offense be so incompetent and not score any points. We see that all the time. The Dolphins defense has really done that. The first half of this season, we see defenses do this, and I think the Colts defense would do the same thing here. Carson Wentz is not ready for this Colts team to be the savior and to win them a Super Bowl. Carson Wentz is not it, folks. We watch this man almost every single week, and it's so unimpressive, folks. It was glaring last week. Our film study's up on our YouTube channel on this Colts game over the Raiders last week, and Carson Wentz looked absolutely atrocious. I'm taking the Chiefs here. Easy peasy over the Colts. All right, now in the NFC wildcard round number 1, first matchup up, Cardinals at the Cowboys. Man-to-man rematch of what we just saw last week, and I'm going to take the Cardinals again. It's just this Cowboys offense, I think, at some point is going to be so bad, and it's going to happen in the playoffs, unfortunately. We just saw, last week, not the greatest over the Cardinals. Yeah, they had a decent fourth quarter, but the game was mostly over at that point. Cowboys defense is good. They're ball hawks. They get the takeaways, but they just couldn't get that big time stop. They let the Cardinals chew off the last 5 minutes of the game, not getting the ball back into Dak's hands. So I like the Cowboys Walk of Fame defense. They're ball hawks, but when it comes to just getting a big stop, that's where they kind of come up a little bit short. And the consistency of Dak Prescott in the offense and getting out to a hot start, that's kind of their kryptonite as well. I'm going to take the Cardinals winning in the rematch in the playoffs. Then we get the Eagles at the Bucks, and man, oh man, this is, I think this is a good matchup here for the Eagles. This Bucks team kind of sputtering a little bit offensively, the whole AB thing being a big distraction. This Eagles defense is good, and I think they can keep them in the game. Just unfortunately, they had to face Tom Brady. So I love this Eagles team, and I really think that they can upset this Bucks team, folks. And that's exactly what I'm going to say. I'm going to choose this Eagles team to win, folks. I've got a friend who's an Eagles fan, and I told him, I think your best matchup in the wild card would be to face the Bucks at the current moment. And, I know he was calling me crazy a little bit, and I was even calling myself a little crazy because if you told me, hey, Dolphins, the biggest matchup, the easiest matchup in the playoffs would be to face Tom Brady, I would be like, you're out of your gourd. What are you saying? And I get it. But the way this Eagles defense is, it's real gosh dang good, folks. It's solid defense. This offense is solid as heck. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. This is a true complementary football team all across the board. Nick Sirianni has everybody playing above their standards. They don't have any big pieces on this team. Darius Slay's pretty gosh dang good defensively, but overall, everybody's just playing real gosh dang solid, good, winnable, consistent football here for the Eagles. I'm going to give them the big ol' upset over the defending Super Bowl champions. Tom Brady not looking as clean as he was at the back end of last regular season. I'm going to give it to the Eagles here, folks. Then the last game in the NFC wildcard, Saints at the Rams, and this is the easiest win for the Rams in all season long. The Saints offense is trash. The defense is, they come up big here and there, but not consistently. The offense for the Saints is going to put up no points against this Rams defense, so Rams can easily put up 3 points, so that's all we need to know. Rams win at minimum 3-0. Alrighty, so now here we go. Division round. Now the number 1 seeds come out. Who do the number 1 seeds have to face? So here we go. Let's talk about the AFC Division round playoffs. We get Bengals at the Chiefs. Should be a great game. We just watched it. We just saw it. And Zach Taylor got that defense right in the second half. That halftime speech, whoever was talking in the locker room at halftime, they got it done, holding the Chiefs to only 3 points. Chiefs offense lackluster in the second half of that game, and this Chiefs defense letting Joe Burrow sling this ball all over the field on them, exploiting one-on-one matchups. Jamar Chase going manic for 200 plus yards. Absolutely incredible. This Chiefs team at home, though, in the playoffs, Joe Burrow a little young, Zach Taylor a little bit new to the NFL head coaching game, and now he's in the playoffs and all that. So maybe, a little bit lackluster performance here by the Bengals just because they are a little bit young. So I'm going to give it to the Chiefs here. Now we get the Bills at the Titans, and man, oh man, it's Derrick Henry time in the playoffs, and we absolutely cannot wait for it. I really want the Titans to not be the number 1 seed just so we get to see Derrick Henry a week earlier, okay? But Titans at home versus this Bills team, this Titans defense, they step it up when they need to. Mike Vrabel is one of the greatest coaches currently in the league, and nobody gives him any proper respect. Respect Mike Vrabel, folks. Know the name, learn the name. This Bills team, they clam up in the playoffs. They get conservative offensively play calling, and I think the Titans defense can take advantage. I got the Titans beating the Bills here at home. Love the Titans. Love Derrick Henry. Love Mike Vrabel. All right, and then in the NFC, here we go. We get the Cardinals at the Rams. And, they faced each other a couple of times this season. Rams won the first meeting. Cardinals won the second meeting. And now we get the tiebreaker, Rams at home. And the Rams lost at home in their last meeting against the Cardinals. So maybe they'd want to be on the road. But this Rams team, their defense is good. Matthew Stafford over Kyler Murray. Sean McVay over Cliff Kingsbury. Once again, the experience factor, I think, plays in a little bit. I don't think the experience factor will play in that much in the wild card game, but once we get to like the division round matchups and the championship games, I really think that's when experience in the playoffs really come through. And I think the Cardinals a little bit inexperienced, and I hate using that. I hate when people say that. When I'm watching, sports talk shows and all that, I hate when people bring out that experience factor in the playoffs. Just go out there and play. But I like the Rams here. I like the way that Matthew Stafford's really been playing and winning close games and figuring out how to win, and Sean McVay figuring out how to win close games and all that, coming back and sticking through the ebbs and flows of of natural football games and not getting too discouraged. I'm gonna give it to the Rams here over the Cardinals. Then we get the Eagles at the Packers, and I love this Eagles team, folks. They upset Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champions, defending Super Bowl champions, but this is Aaron Rodgers on a mission to finally get back to the playoffs. He loves getting to the NFC Championship game. Can't put the nail in the coffin here, but I'm going to take the Packers over the Eagles. Eagles decently competitive, but at the end of the day, the offensive firepower that this Packers team has between Aaron Rodgers slinging the ball phenomenally, flawlessly, and the running game, complementary running game by the Packers, gonna give it over the Eagles, unfortunately. Alrighty, that brings us to the championship games. Here we go. In the AFC, we got Chiefs at the Titans, and it's Derrick Henry, fresh legs, ready to punch and brutalize this Chiefs defense in the mouth. This Chiefs defense has been really good the back end of the season. A little exposed last week over the Bengals, but overall, for the most part, collectively, pretty solid overall. But how are they going to be with fresh legs Henry, smacking them in the mouth time and time again? Titans want their revenge over the Chiefs from a couple of years ago when they got into the championship game and lost it. And I believe the Titans were on the road the last time. They were in Kansas City. Now they're at home here. I'm going to give it to the Titans. Derrick Henry is the game changer. This Titans defense, we've seen them step up in big games. Last week against the Dolphins in really a must-win game for both those teams. He gets it done. The defense gets it done. Shout out to Mike Vrabel. Shout out to Derrick Henry. Shout out to this Titans defense. They get it done. Titans are going to the Super Bowl. King Henry in the Super Bowl. Ooh, I may need to buy tickets right now. Then we get the Rams at the Packers, and this should be a good-ass game. This may be the best game of the entire year, folks. Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers versus Matthew Stafford. Sheesh. We need 2 weeks just to talk about the NFC Championship game. Damn, I would love to see this matchup. I need to see this matchup. I need this to be the outcome here in the NFC. Rams at the Packers should be a phenomenal game. But once again, that experience, Matthew Stafford has no idea what it takes to get to the Super Bowl, let alone an NFC Championship game, let alone a division playoff game. Where Aaron Rodgers, he knows how to get to the NFC Championship game. He knows knows how to run the table, just doesn't know how to quite figure out the NFC Championship game and win it consistently. But overall, he's going with Matthew Stafford, who doesn't even know what a championship game is. I'm going to give it to Aaron Rodgers getting it done, and Aaron Rodgers gets to the Super Bowl. And then we get the Packers at the Titans in the Super Bowl. And I love Derrick Henry, don't get me wrong. And I need to see Derrick Henry get a Super Bowl. But I don't know if Ryan Tannehill is the guy to get it done in the biggest of games. I know we call him a game manager. And in our opinion, a game manager can win you the big game. But he needs some help. He needs, obviously, a great running game and some solid receivers. And that's exactly what Ryan Tannehill has all around him in Tennessee. But can Ryan Tannehill get it done against Aaron Rodgers, who is just so clamoring for another ring? If Aaron Rodgers gets another ring, folks, I know about 25% of y'all on Twitter are going to say he's the greatest of all time, and now we're going to have this argument, and I'm glad for the argument about greatest of all time, that Aaron Rodgers is going to kind of, rival Tom Brady a little bit. I don't know if one more Super Bowl alone is enough for Aaron Rodgers to truly say that he's better than Tom Brady in the greatest of all time category, but it does make the argument a lot more entertaining and a little bit closer, obviously, without the second ring. So, Packers, I think, win the Super Bowl over the Titans, but I hope obviously Derrick Henry gets it, but I can't deny what this Aaron Rodgers and Packers team is, folks. They're just so gosh dang good, and they can't just keep losing in the NFC Championship games, or this is going to be one of the craziest things to talk about, like the Bills getting to 4 straight Super Bowls and losing them all. Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur being so gosh dang great, getting the 3 straight NFC Championship games and losing them all when they were kind of favored in every single one. So I'm going to give it to the Packers, folks, as the new Super Bowl updated champion. So, see how seeding changes. You need seeding. Seeding can kind of help you out of winning the Super Bowl or getting to the Super Bowl, because the last time, we walked through week 17 and 18, our Super Bowl matchup was Chiefs versus the Rams. Now we got Packers and Titans. So seeding is everything. Matchups are everything. That's why you need to play your starters week 18. That's why I'm so upset at the Bengals not playing their starters here. They probably still win the game, and we still think they do win the game, but you need to win this game to get the favorable matchup and all that. So we'll see how week 18 plays out. We will re-walk through the playoff scenarios after week 18 as well, if we need to. I think we hit it right on the head of exactly how this week's going to play out. But if one matchup changes, if one seed changes here, we will re-walk through the playoffs and once again see how the Super Bowl champions change based on seeding matchups and all that, folks. So seeding matters in the playoffs. Don't rest everybody. Go balls to the wall in this week 18 game if you are in the playoffs and still need to wrap up seeding and all that. You cannot take a week off in the NFL. Everybody must keep their foot on the gas.